Welcome to Book Bites with Rebecca and Rebecca.
Whetting your appetite for your next read.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to one of this month's episodes of Book Bites. My name is Rebecca Yager, usually coming to you from Dallas, Texas, but I am in Arizona right now. But still glad to be here. My partner in books and crime and everything else is Rebecca Reed, and I think she's still in Indiana. Hi, Rebecca.
Yeah, for now, just for now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, we'll see what summer trips you have planned here.
quite a few.
And
So,
yeah, you always do. Anyway, we are delighted to welcome actually a friend of ours that we are
mhm.
proud to say that, and it's Melissa LaShure. Hello, Melissa.
Hello, Rebecca and Becky. I'm so excited to finally be on your show.
Well, we're
We're
excited to have you as well. We should have done this sooner, I think. This is going to be fun.
Probably
I mean,
so. Now, Melissa is a multi-professional, multifaceted person, is an author, is a podcaster, and then still has a day job and a family, and she's busy. So we're going to talk a lot more than just about books with her.
mhm.
Yes, Rebecca?
Yes, we are going to discuss not only her series that she's written, which is a historical romance series, and we're going to chat about that and her philosophy on writing a little bit, but we're also going to talk about the entrepreneurial way that she is marketing her books and a little bit about that. So let's dive in a little bit. I guess, first of all, Melissa, tell us a little bit about your series, maybe kind of why you wrote it, how you came up with the idea, and a little bit about what you would want readers to know about it.
Sure. So the series is called The Bounty Brothers, and when it's all said and done, there should be 7 books.
Mm.
Um, I don't really know where 7 came from, other than it just came to me. So the series is about a group of 7 men who fought in the Civil War, and now they co-run a ranch, and they're really taming the Wild West. So they are bounty hunters on the side, and they really focus on helping women get out of brothels and just in really bad situations, and then helping them get set up in a better life somewhere else. So yeah, so there'll be 7. The books 1 and 2, Unwavering Faith and Uncharted Trials, are already out, and then Unrelenting Mercy will come out hopefully this summer. Like Becky said, my day job kind of took over my life this past school year, because I was running as principal and curriculum director. So basically 2 full-time jobs into one. So writing kind of got put on a hold. So that's coming. You know where this came from? People might think I'm a little weird, but during those COVID years, I don't know if you guys struggled with just the isolation and all these regulations and things that just came out. And I kind of got honestly in a depressed state for a bit with all of that. And in my head, I just kept asking, where are all of our heroes that
Mm.
stand up and say, this isn't right? You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And I just thought, where did all our heroes go? So I thought, you know what, I'm going to write my own heroes. And I love that. I love the Wild West historical part. So that's where it came from.
That's really interesting. I
Yeah, I
love
love
that.
that.
It's like, okay, we need these people. Let's just create our own. I love it. That is awesome. I think that's a fantastic reason though to write a series about heroes, like because we need heroes and I think that's a universal thing. Like, that's why do we write the characters we write? Because that's who we want to interact with. Because as
Mhm.
an author, we're spending a lot of time with these people. We're not going to spend time with people we don't like, even though there are some of those in there, just because there has to be conflict and there has to be somebody fighting against our heroes and heroines. So, but that's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, because I
Go
think
ahead.
there's times when we read books and they almost feel like our friends, the characters, and you don't want to leave the book. So it's nice that you actually have 7 books, hopefully, because these are characters we don't want to leave.
Yes. And already I have some spin-offs of some side characters I think readers really want to see. So should be fun.
Oh, that's always great.
Mhm.
We talk about, everybody has kind of their own little, well, not everybody. A lot of authors are kind of doing that, right? Where you have interconnected characters between your various books or series. And I think that readers really enjoy that little nugget of, oh, that came from here. I've read that. I saw that. Or maybe I haven't read that, but I'm going to go and read that now because I'm interested. So that's a great way to, build interest in what you're writing and build kind of that read through the
Mhm.
different things that you've written. Um, so I guess you talked about how these are heroes, and so they're rescuing these people, and you're interacting with these people who maybe don't have the opportunity that they need to kind of improve their life or get out of whatever situation they're in. Um, how much research does it take you to like kind of for the historical part, the accuracy and that kind of thing?
I always put in for my readers that these are very much fictional. So I've done research. I haven't done a lot of deep diving other than like because it's a made up fictional town, basically that I put them in. Now I did have it start in Dodge City, and so I did some research with that, obviously, and mentioned some people like Wyatt Earp in the first one, but I did not bring him in, or I just try not to touch that too much. Um, a lot of my research is into like the daily life. What was it like to do ranching? When did certain things happen on the ranch? When were cattle drives? When was branding? Those types of things.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, but and I try to stay true to obviously that time era too, like clothing, all of that
Mhm.
stuff. So
Hmm. Yeah. So thinking about your heroines that you bring in, do you have all of that lined out? Like you have different, like the women come from different places then, to like showcase different aspects of that side of it?
somewhat. So my first heroine, Claire, she's actually from a super wealthy family from New York, who's on the run because she is framed for a murder that she did not commit.
Mhm.
Ooh.
And her brother actually had fought in the Civil War and never came home. He's haunted by something that happened on the battlefield, and he actually ended up settling in Dodge City. So she's running to get to him to hopefully get some help with all of that. So then, of course, there's a bounty on her head, right? So that's how our bounty brothers get involved and
Okay.
help her out. And then my second heroine, she's actually Claire's best friend slash maid from New York who goes through a terrible, terrible experience, and Claire ends up bringing her out west, and of course they're helping her. The one of the bounty brothers falls in love with her, right, and helps her with her situation that she's in. My third book is actually a preacher's daughter who's trying to get through the walls that one of our bounty brothers puts up because he has a very, very dark past prior to moving into the light. And so, fourth book is a widow. She needs a man. They have a homestead, and you, unfortunately for women, it was really hard to maintain a homestead without a man there to help during those times. So there's that. We have a Pinkerton agent, a woman Pinkerton
Mhm.
agent that's going to be coming in at some point. We have a former saloon girl. And then we have Claire's niece that will come in at some point as
Okay.
well. So
Sounds
adopted
great.
niece. So that's why she's old enough to be in our romance.
Okay. Wow, that's great. I love all the variety.
I was
That'll
about to
be
say, I want to
fun.
get in Melissa's head. It might be scary, but
Yeah.
if tease Melissa. Undo that. Okay, you mentioned these books. I'm intrigued. I want to go out and get them, but you don't sell them on Amazon. They are on your website for sale, but um, is that a what prompted you not to go on Amazon or just do it from your website? Is there a reason behind that? Just or any other bookseller besides, your site?
Yeah. Yeah, so I fully indie publish, right? So it's all me doing everything. But I looked into Amazon. I
Mhm.
did. I didn't always like how things were set up on there, to be honest. But the biggest thing is like it never set well with me that I was splitting my money with a company that was funneling money into things that I don't support.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay.
that just don't align with God's word. And so I spent a lot of time in prayer because this is a huge battle. For me personally, Amazon is the place to go if you are an author, right? Like that's where you publish. That's the easiest place for anybody to find your book, right? And to sell them. I just couldn't do it. And I have nothing against anyone who does it.
Mhm.
Please do it. Like I don't have any ill will
Yeah,
towards anyone who does it. I just personally felt like God
right.
was saying, I don't want you on there. And I'm not going to lie, I've not sold a ton of books yet at this point. I mean, I know I'm only like, what, two
Yet.
books out in the series.
Yet.
But and I have gone back to him repeatedly and said, like, are you sure I shouldn't be on Amazon? Are you sure I shouldn't like put it out for, like on Ingram Spark, right? For other,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't have it up there either for anybody to sell. You can only get it off my website. Um, and he keeps coming back, hold on, hold on. So I am holding. I mean, I've had so many authors like Julie Lessman. I don't know if you know her very well, dear friend of mine, and she's like, "Are you praying about this, honey? Because I think you need to get out on Amazon." And I'm like, "I am. I promise you, I'm going back almost weekly. Like, are you? Is it time yet?" But I keep getting this hold on, so I'm just gonna trust that God's got something that is gonna come, and I'm gonna enjoy the slow growth right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I love that leap of faith. I really love that, and what a great testimony, because we know God's got this planned out for you, and what he wants for you there. So what is your website? Let's tell the folks where they can find your books.
So it's literaryscape.com, because that's where I host my podcast too, where we feature lots of authors in this genre as well in their books. So when you go there, you can find the little shop link. And I don't have a ton there, but I do have some t-shirts and coffee mugs in my books. So
Well, that's interesting too, because your podcast then is kind of it's very related to what you write with the content. And so are you using the audience that you have for your podcast to help try to sell your books then?
yeah, so a lot of our listeners are on my mailing list, right? So, and I tend to put a lot more effort into my newsletter and emailing my readers versus on social media. My cousin who did my book cover design forced me to go back on social media because she's like, you got to get out there a little bit more. It's just not where I like to be, and that's okay if other people do. That's totally fine. So I do a lot with that. Now I am just recently launching, really relaunching a book club, so readers can become members of the book club and kind of be part of the podcast and have some influence on the podcast as well. So we're pretty excited to get that relaunched this summer as well. But yeah, on there we feature historical Christian romance and then contemporary Christian suspense romance, because that's another genre that we really love too. But they're all in the romance.
Right. Okay. Well, that's awesome. I think it's great. I think it's always good to have options, right? Everybody just kind of automatically goes to Amazon, but if you're not comfortable with Amazon like Melissa, you don't have to go
You
there.
don't have
There's
to.
other options. She mentioned Ingram Spark. That's a place you can go to get your books out there in different ways. And there's nothing wrong with selling. A lot of authors have so have book you're able to buy certain things from their website. I couldn't get that out there correctly, but and that's a common thing from authors, but to exclusively do that, that's a little bit different, but there's nothing wrong with different when it comes to
Hmm.
publishing, especially indie publishing. Like anything goes, whatever is good for you. That's partly the reason that people do indie publish, because they want to be in control of what they do. And that is an example of how you can be in control of your own sales and your own content and things. And so I think that's awesome. And we really appreciate your sharing that, Melissa, with our audience, because it's good to know that there's not just one way, right? And there's like millions of ways to go through this journey, and you're showing us an alternative way that maybe a lot of people haven't thought about. So that's cool. So literaryscape.com is the website where we can find your books and your podcast and all the things that are related to each of those.
And
The
sign up
book
for your
club,
newsletter. Yes.
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 Yeah.
Um, and it's a good newsletter. I get it, by the way. I really enjoy it. It's very informative, has lots of stuff on there. It's really interesting.
And
Um,
click the shop button so you can pick up Melissa's books and keep following along with the Bounty Brothers. So I like
Yes.
that.
yes.
All right.
And
Anything else?
so, all
Rebecca,
right,
what's
yeah.
next? Do we even know what's next? I've
Well, I
lost my
don't know if we
mind. You
know
know
what's
that.
next, to be honest. But I know we're going to be talking to Morgan Bussey at some point in our book bites
But
coming up
yeah.
in August. And then we also have on our long form
Mhm.
podcast and review, we're going to be reviewing Eyewitness Sketch by Danielle Grandinetti. So we have that to look forward to. And then a surprise, because I don't think we're quite sure yet. So you can always find out what's coming on our schedule on our website, rebeccaandrebecca.com. That's the best place to go to find out all the links and all the places you can find us. And we are pretty much everywhere, as is Melissa and her podcast. So um, you can tune into all of those episodes, like and subscribe so you don't miss anything, of course, and comment when you and participate in the polls when they're there. And we would love to hear what you have to say about any of the topics we've talked about. So until next time, we will thank Melissa for being here. We're so grateful for her and all the things she's doing. And thank you for listening and watching. And until next time, we'll see ya.
Take care.